Thank you, Diane. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really pleased to be here. First of all, let me make one thing clear. If you listen to my voice and have me heard on another occasion, my voice changed a little bit, not because of heavy drinking yesterday. It's because of a little cold. The other thing is, unfortunately, I don't have a mobile microphone, so most of the speech you will only hear. You won't see me because I'm smaller than the podium here. But I hope that this gives you a little bit of an insight into smart or innovation or clever or intelligent or however you want to call it technologies. And I want to talk a little bit about how we in HP believe things will behave tomorrow. Let me introduce me to you. I'm Chief Technologist in HP in Central and Eastern Europe, which means I'm the guinea pig who has to test all the new things and has to bring all the new things to our customers and keep them happy, which is sometimes not the most easy job. But on the other hand, for me it's a pleasure to be here because being a chief technologist means that I'm very much related to things that we do in HP, and I don't have so often the chance to listen to speakers from universities, speakers from all over the world. And with that, please let me say thank you. Let me say thank you to the University of Maribor, and thank you especially to the faculty for organizing that event. It's a very special event. 26 years of continuous discussion about innovation in E-type of technologies is something very special. It's, I think in this region, I'm responsible for all the countries between the western part of Slovakia until the eastern part of Russia. I think this is the only conference with that heritage and that tradition. I've not seen anything else than that. So with that, thank you very much that we have been invited to give a speech, and please don't raise the level too much after the first panel. I'm really afraid that I'm not going to meet your expectations. I hope you take something out of it when it's only little, or when you only see the small guy talking. Don't be patient with me. Yeah? You know, if we are talking about innovation, and if we are talking about what is going to change in the future, we have already heard how processes are going. And when you listened to Mr. Vujicic, the inventor, what have you heard? You heard a bio. You heard a kind of life model that is very special. And I think this kind of innovation only can happen out of such bios, out of such life models. And when we try to think about how innovation happens today in the university community, or we look to ourselves in HP, Hewlett, Packard, and think about how innovation happens inside big companies, I think we can learn a lot from these guys. But we can also learn a lot from the sports. What we have heard from Petra about her life, but even more what we have heard from Petra about how they made it happen. It was not only training, so what the things that you would expect, it was also being smarter than the others. It's the combination that makes it happen. You know, try hard, work hard, but also be a little bit smarter. And what she said at the end about having good luck, of course, you have to have good luck to be at the end successful. But what she said was, you need to be prepared for the good luck. If you don't do the first two things, work hard, have a good team, be smarter, be talented, you will not have the good luck, because it doesn't come automatically. So my speech will be a little bit about what we can expect in the near future. And you know, I'm not that brilliant type of guy. You see it already on the slide, because probably it was not the best idea to have this mountain, but you should realize the mountain. You have already seen it today. Yeah? What's the name of the mountain?
Kriegloff.
Yeah, very good. So it was not the best idea to have the mountain behind this, this text, but it's not so important for you to read the text. It's more important what is the message of the slide. The message of the slide is McKinsey. These are numbers from McKinsey, so I'm not such a brilliant guy to invent these numbers by myself. So I stole them from McKinsey. No, I asked them if I can use it. But they say, you know, what happened the past 10 years? And when you think about what was the amount of money you have to pay for a certain amount of MIPS, which is the number of computing power or processing power in a computer, it was $5 million in the year 1975 to buy a host computer that has the same computing performance than an iPhone 4. And when you today show your iPhone 4 to your young kids, they will laugh at you because it's not the latest one. So we have today more computing power in our pockets than we had in 1975. So, but what is even more stunning, what we do with this computing power, in the discussion outside at the coffee, I discussed with one gentleman, and we talked about what's happening with this Internet of Things schemes, and we talked about mobility and driving cars. And he said, you know, who believed 10 years ago that a car would be several computers combined together and put 4 wheels on the computer, you know? And I have one of these computers outside standing, and it drives me crazy because every 3rd week I have to repair something there. So we are still not there, but we know where we are going to. And when you see 300,000 miles, and don't ask me what this is in kilometers, but 300,000 miles, the Google autonomous cars were driving without having an accident. In fact, they had only one accident, and that was a human error. So I was not aware that that happened already, that they were driving that much. And I do know, don't test that in the traffic in Austria or in Slovenia. It will not work because, okay, traffic in the States works somehow a little bit different than in our regions. But the point is, there will be tremendous change in the way how autos are going to drive in the future, or how cars are going to be driven in the future. But that's not all. You know, we had a drop of the costs of the watt of 85% in solar cells. So the watt produced by a solar cell, the price for that dropped 85% in the last 13 years. So probably it's not going to drop the same amount over the next 10 years, but what we see is we have a tremendous amount of innovation in that technology, and there is a tremendous room for improvement, because when I talked to my father several years ago about using solar cells on the roof, he said, forget that. It does not make sense at all. It will be never, ever economically positive. You know, what we should realize is we should never say never. And this is not only James Bond saying. Yeah? It's the point that expecting what comes in the future is very hard. And you know, somehow a very famous guy said, the most hardest thing of predicting something is predicting the future, you know? And you know, what I'm trying here is give a little view on what's coming, and with some numbers, probably I try to help you to understand what's coming to us, because many people I'm talking to CEOs, I'm talking to CIOs and chief technologists in this region, in Russia, in Kazakhstan, in Azerbaijan. They tell me, Werner, internet is there. So what's new here? They tell me mobility is here. So this is nothing new. Yes, that's true. But what you need to know is we are just at the beginning. You know, I had a professor in school who told me after Intel launched the 386 processor, 386, the version before 286, and still two versions more until the first Pentium came, or 3 versions more until the first Pentium. He said 386, we will not need any more computing power. That's enough. No, that's, if there is another one, yeah, who will buy that? 386 is absolutely enough. But you know, we have still 2 to 3 billion more people being connected to the internet. 2 to 3 billion. We have still 5 to 7 trillion of economical impact by bringing more people in the position of being a knowledge worker. $5 to $7 trillion. We have 100 to 200% that we can increase the efficiency and production of the oil fields in North America. And when you have read what happened to the OPEC over the past couple of months, they are in the middle of being in a panic mode because they don't know what's coming. America is going to be self-sufficient on oil and on energy, which did not happen in the past 50 years. So we are living in the middle of a tremendous change. And when we look into what economically disruptive technologies are in front of us, it's not the mobility itself. It's not only the fact that people use mobile smartphones. It's making mobile users to knowledge workers. And the way that is going to happen is not by making some Word or Excel or whatever kind of applications available on the smartphone. It's about using personal assistants, using assistants that help people do things more efficient and smarter. Assistants like in the Apple world, it's Siri. In the Google world, you have a similar tool. But that's just the beginning. You know, using this kind of assistance will be crucial for using complex services in the future. You know, today we're in the middle of this cloudification, which means, you know, cloudification means we get access to technology where we did not have access the last 20 years. And everybody gets access to that. So your students can run a complex computing project on the Amazon cloud, or even better on the HP cloud. Sorry for the money. But can run that secure, can run that with high computing performance, can program the software without owning and without stealing intellectual property, just by using complex tools that are available in that cloud. But that is just the beginning. The point is, the next level in knowledge worker evolution will be not only making this technology available, not only making the software tools available, but giving the users tools like Siri, like other kind of technical and personal assistants that make the usage of the technology much easier. And when I say much easier, I'm talking about the thing of programming a complex type of software in Pascal compared to you do it today in C# or C++. You know, when I started computer programming, I had to program the calendar. I had to program the time zones. Today, if you talk to a student and ask him, can you program the calendar? Can you calculate when the next Easter will be? This was a typical example. You need to know how you calculate Easter. And by the way, I've already forgotten about that, but you know, probably you know. You know, that was a typical computer problem 15 years ago. Today, who is thinking about that? Nobody. Because it's simply there. And you can say, oh God, people have forgotten of how to calculate Easter. That's a tragedy. But also people have forgotten to speak Latin. And this is a tragedy. You know, I had to learn Latin. It was the 2 hardest years in my life. Yeah, that was the reason to change the school type in Austria. Yeah, and my mother was completely. She said she thought the world will end. Yeah, so her son will never do a good career. Probably she was right. I don't know, but now I'm in HP. The point is with that, you know, having some kind of technologies in hand that enable us to do things, of course, means also for us that we change some lifestyle, we change some ways of how we do things, and we need to live with that. And also, you know, Internet of Things is something like that. Internet of Things. Some of us can say, what is new with Internet of Things? It's there since years. You know, using weather kind of report technology. It's available in the internet in Austria from the ZAMG since years, or using some sensors to sense something. It's available since years. It's the same like with Internet 2.0. And it's the same with cloud. When the cloud revolution started, everybody said, come on, that's not new. It was already there. But the point is, it's completely useless to ask this question, is it new or not? Is it revolutionary or not? The only question that matters is what it will change and how is it implemented. And the change of Internet of Things, the real change is not the change in technology. Because I agree with those who say the technology is already there. The change will be an economic change. You know, I'm now on the travel to the vacation and I'm towing a boat. You can see the boat outside because somebody said I should park it there. I didn't want to park it in front of the entrance. And it's a very ugly boat, so, you know. But the point is, I need a strong car to tow the boat, yeah? Because it's pretty heavy and, you know, I have some engine horsepower. And the car is consuming awful a lot of fuel. So I was very happy when I read from McKinsey about, you know, the increase in efficiency in oil drilling. Yeah? So I still hope it will be cheaper in the future. But, you know, besides that, towing this boat means I need at least 200 horsepower because I tried it with a smaller car and it did not really work out. So the point is, I need this 200 horsepower only 2 times, maximum 4 times a year. For 4 days. Yeah, 4 days. Why the hell can I not have the horsepower in my car bought on demand? You know, technically, easy. You can just change the electronics, you can change the pressure on the injection, and you have a different horsepower. And what would it mean for me? I would have to pay less for the insurance in Austria because our insurance is bound to the horsepower, and I would have to pay less taxes. And this is what I want to say. Internet of Things is, of course, a lot about technology, and I'm happy that we're discussing a lot of this technology because this is HP business. But the real change is going to happen in business models. Why can I not buy from Volkswagen or from Audi or from BMW or from Kia or from whomever a car where I can order the horsepower on demand and pay only what I need? Yeah? You know, probably this will never work out because, okay, this would, innovation, you know, in Austria we have a lot of politics, but they are also average like everywhere else. But the only speciality we have in Austria, we have one part of the politicians and government administration people who are really innovative, they are really special, and these are the guys who are doing the tax collection. Yeah? So most probably when I would introduce such an idea, they would come with a much better idea how to tax me so that I would pay again the same kind of taxes. But the point is, it's possible, it's doable. It would be a change of business models. And the same is true for all other Internet of Things type of changes. When we talk about, colleagues will speak about innovation in smart cities. when you think about what we use today of the information that is already available electronically, it's amazing what is in front of us. It's amazing what will be possible when we connect the public transport, the information that is coming out of public transport with other areas of transport in cities. When we connect the data that we can collect from the consumption of electricity in the households and the production of electricity in the households and give it back. I will talk a little bit about that in a second. But, and this is, I will jump over that slide, just some numbers. If you look on the right side of the page and you see I'm the technology guy, so my slides are not really nice because they have a lot of text, but look at that. Internet of Things, the technology improvement. We have 300% increase of connected machine-to-machine devices over the past 5 years, 300%. And the speed is increasing. 80 to 90% in price decline in MEMS, which are micromechanical systems, sensors, over the past 5 years. 1 trillion things that still could be connected. That means we are scratching the orange just from the surface. We are just at the beginning of what is going to happen. What does it mean? It's the same thing when we started with smartphones. You know, I ask myself, why do I need a camera in a smartphone? Why the hell do I need a camera in my mobile phone? I don't need that. And by the way, I asked several years before why I do need SMS. Yeah? So you see, even I'm a technologist in HP, I ask silly questions. Yeah? But you know, today we have the camera in the smartphones, and we have applications like Google Glass, yeah? Google Goggles, which is amazing. You just can take a picture of the mountain, and it tells you what mountain you see. Perfect. Okay, for the people who live here, it's completely useless because they know the mountain. Yeah, but for me, it was a nice ride too. So, sensors and Internet of Things, as I said, will not be a revolution. It will be the same like Web 2.0. It will be the same like Internet. It will be the same like mobile phones. It's an evolution. It will be there, and when we look back in 10 years, then we will say, oh wow, there was this revolution. But when we are in the middle of it, we will not realize it. But what will it change? Or where is it going to happen? Wildlife tracking, you know, preserving the nature, security and access, geophysical mapping. And believe me, I'm now working in Kazakhstan on a project where we help the oil companies there really revolutionizing the way of how they are going to detect oil underground, oil and gas. HP is working on such a project. Yeah? And if we talk about infrastructure, another project we do for railways is we detect the health, the physical health of railway lines, and we service it. So when I'm talking about changing business models, I'm not talking about something theoretical, something that is going to happen in 5 years from now. The point is, it's happening already today. It's happening to companies like HP. You know, 10 years ago, we sold equipment, medical equipment to hospitals. Today, we run hospitals as HP. And we are a computer and IT company. So the other thing with this kind of evolution versus revolution is, you know, who created the biggest trouble to Sony? Which kind of company created the biggest trouble to Sony? Why today Sony is in big trouble? Was it because of their next competitors? Was it because of GVC? Was it because of Philips? No, it was because of this little tiny company with the Apple logo. It was because of Apple. They invented the iPod. They come from IT and changed and revolutionized the complete business. You know, the point is that what we should watch out, and that is what I loved in the presentation we heard today morning about students that need to learn to work together cross-faculty. It's the same in HP. We in HP need to learn cross-business unit. We need to learn combining our strengths we have in the printer division with the strengths in the services division. And that is what's going to change in the future. So only talking about Internet of Things, talking about sensors and the cost of the sensors will go down. It's nice. And it's also nice talking about the technology. But it's a boring thing because, as I said, and you will agree, the technology is already there. There is nothing what we need to invent. Yeah, we have the networks, we have the sensors, we can improve the sensors. Yeah, and I will give you one example. VMN.si, this is the Central Nervous System for Earth. It's an HP project. And it's an HP project we started already 5 years ago. And the idea of this project is that HP will distribute 1 trillion sensors that sense any kind of movement of Earth. So we have developed a sensor, and it's awfully cheap. So the price for the sensor is amazingly cheap. And the sensor is sensing any kind of movement on Earth. It's sensing weather, it's sensing Earth movement, it's sensing earthquakes. And you know, the best thing of this sensor, it's combined with technology, it's automatically connected to networks. And we give it, we install it everywhere, and we make use of this kind of information. You know, the point is, okay, we have improved the sensor technology, but the base technologies we are using are the same. The point is, the business model of that is that we are going to give the data we are generating to the public. And we try to develop applications based on this data, based on this information, together with universities, with students, with small companies. We are going to try to make use of that. So, in the old days, HP would start saying, we have developed a sensor, we are going to sell the sensor. Yeah? You can buy it from us. And we would have been happy if we would sold 1 trillion of sensors. Today, we have learned, if you invent, you need not only to invent the technology, you also need to invent the business model. And that is what's going to change with Internet of Things. And it's going to change today. So I'm jumping over that slide, talking, that's the marketing, blah, blah, blah. I have been asked by I have been asked by the corporation to talk a little bit about HP, but I think you can read that. I'm at the end of my speech now. But the point that I want to make is Internet of Things and all these disruptive technologies only work out if, first of all, we think them together. Knowledge workers, mobile, internet of Things, these are things that come together. And the second thing is, and that is what I want to ask you as university people is, please help your students to understand that it's not enough today to think about technology, to think about how to implement it. We also need to think about how disruptive are these technologies to business models and how we can invent new business models. With that, I'm open for all your questions. Let me say thank you for listening to me. As I said, it was not this kind of innovative speech that the colleagues who spoke before gave to you. So I hope the next colleague will do better than I did. But with that, thank you for your patience.